And hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome back to OPTV Live's Mech Mania Monday. I am Steve, and tonight you are watching a 1v1 Fantastic Four tournament. That's right, folks, this tournament has focused on 4 specific mechs: the Saucer, Bomber, Angel, and Neo. We are now on the semifinals. We have the Turkleton himself playing in the upper left corner in green, flying around in the pumpkin saucer. His opponent, the Big Boss, down in the lower right hand corner in red, flying around in the Beta Bomber. We are on Sand Rim. Sand Rim was just recently redone by the Carbon Dev team, and this just looks really awesome now, guys. It clearly shows like this used to be a massive river here that just after the Great War it just completely dried up. But basically, this map is great because, as you guys can see, there is a tremendous amount of open airspace. But before we even talk about that, let's take a look right here, because Turkleton is wasting no time at harassing. Almost has completely taken out 2 moneymakers already, causing a lot of problems for the Big Boss. Big Boss down to half health already. Turkleton just doing whatever he can, but decides to leave and get out of there. But that was great play by Turkleton. I do believe he got one of the moneymakers. He almost got the second one and that tank there. So great play. And he is back. He is not done harassing. He is most likely going to get at least... Oh, his bullets got stuck into the top there. Big Boss flying around with no energy at all. Big Boss will not be able to micro at all. Turkleton has to realize this right now and take full advantage of this. Big Boss needs to take the very long, slow trip back to the base. Turkleton takes full advantage of that, takes out a moneymaker, takes out a tank before Big Boss can even get back into the action. That, guys, is what harassing is really all about. Turkleton really showed you a really good way to harass right there and how to maximize it out. He is now pushing in onto this upper outpost here. He wants to get that close outpost, get that extra income boost, get that extra unit cap, and be ready for anything that could potentially happen. Meanwhile, Big Boss doing a little scouting here, but Big Boss not paying attention to his energy levels, and once again he is out of energy and caught completely out in the open, and that will be an easy kill for Turkleton. Turkleton does get that kill. Big Boss, not using the buyback, is just going to go ahead and respawn normally. Turkleton, on the other hand, is deciding now that he has taken that 12 o'clock outpost, and now he wants that middle outpost. That middle outpost is complete island, completely isolated from any other part of the map, but it is a power station. Faster recharge for your mechs, and a great just neutral middle ground area. Turkleton showing the abilities of the Saucer, abducting that tank, abducting that turret, getting defenses here. But Big Boss not wasting any time at all. He is actually moving in on this bottom factory. The factory is now going to give him build time reduction. Big Boss almost dead, but Turkleton does not stay, not realizing that the factory had no more energy to actually heal and repair. Turkleton would have been able to take him out, but instead just gets out of there, starts moving it on his own, brings out some mornings, wants to take this outpost, which is completely open for grabs, minimal defenses, real huge opportunity. Big Boss there to respond, showing us that the ability of the Bomber is absolutely fantastic when it comes to taking out infantry pushes. Nothing really can kill infantry faster than a Bomber with that melee swipe. I don't even think a Warthog with that OP cannon of destruction can even do that level of damage. Turkleton now decides that his best bet is just to start re-pushing back in on this middle outpost. And let's take a look right here, folks, and see what these players have decided to do with their mechs. Turkleton in his Death Beam Torch mech of devastation. He has gone for 2 levels of Blink, 1 level of Death Ray, and 1 level of Abduct, 1 Guardian, and 1 level of XP boost. Big Boss, on the other hand, has not spent a single dime on his himself, instead focusing his entire economy onto units himself. Which one is really going to pay off in the end? Because Big Boss is definitely getting more... Oh, Big Boss may not survive if he does... Oh, That is called getting out of there on the skin of your teeth. That just does not get any closer. Turkleton now has 3 outposts. Meanwhile, Big Boss has 4. Key thing for Big Boss though is he has 2 factories. Each factory, as I was saying, gets a 20% build reduction, so those 2 together actually has 4. But Turkleton, my gosh, guys, did you see that? He had virtually no health whatsoever, but the way he gets up out of there, flies in an unusual pattern and uses that blink ability, he actually takes away all the opportunity Big Boss should have had to actually kill him. And now he is actually back at this outpost. He is pushing out. He's got his mix of units again, mostly Longhorns, a few Seekers, a little bit of Mortys. Big Boss, on the other hand, deploying out units himself. Are we going to have a classic base rush here, folks? Looking at these units, they are potentially about... No, Turkleton's tanks are a little bit closer than Big Boss's are, but looking at the mini-map here, Turkleton does not yet see Big Boss's push, and Big Boss does not see... Now Big Boss will see Turkleton's push. We have a full-fledged base race going on here. Big Boss pushing in from the top and the bottom. Turkleton pushing in from the side. What is actually going to happen here, folks? Whose push is going to be too much? Who is not going to be able to respond in time? Who is going to be able to take out more? And oh no, Big Boss right at the critical moment actually dies. That could potentially be the game ender right there. Big Boss doing what he can, but there's just so much damage. Meanwhile, Turkleton is there with that death beam. He's got the grinders. He is stopping that push. Big Boss tried so hard. It was such a great attempt there. He had a 2-pronged attack coming in. It's just that Turkleton launched his a little bit sooner and just got to the base sooner, and unfortunately by the time Big Boss realized it, it was just a little bit too late for him to try to respond and get some defenses up. But great play from both of these players. Fantastic Game E semifinals bracket here. Taking a look at the scoreboard, actually Big Boss had a higher score than Turkleton, which is always very interesting when you consider the fact that the losers don't get the same point boost that the winners do. So great play by both players. Fantastic Game E. Thank you very much, guys, for that. Stay tuned for Game F of the semifinal brackets. This is Steve. You're watching Mech Mania Monday on OPTV Live.